Subscribe and hit the bell icon to never miss another update from India Forums.
That's the audience's decision, so I completely respect it.
Right.
But compared to Prateek, he deserved to be the winner. She said what she said and she meant it. So she can say whatever she wants to now. Raqesh and I got to know each other on a game platform. I would keep asking, is he still my boyfriend? You know, has he got someone else out there? I liked Umar. I thought he was really sweet, and we had our differences in the beginning, but then towards the end, we really got along.
First of all, welcome to the real world, Shamita. I would say that because because I'm sure that itself would be a lot of firstly to take in that okay, fine, we're in the real world and not in the house anymore. So firstly, to give that, how is that feeling sinking in so far?
So far, so good. I am getting used to people around me. It's actually a very strange feeling, can't explain it, but I'm very, very happy to be back home.
Right, and amongst loved ones, of course, that being one of the.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Absolutely right. So, right, I mean, of course, your participation itself, be it on the OTT version or be it on the televised version, was always under constant scrutiny. That you already participated in the earlier season back then and you came back, but the coincidence with that was that your feud, sort of, I would say feud with Divya Agarwal, who obviously won OTT, and with Tejasswi, who won 15, it was probably a very unfortunate coincidence. So, what do you think? Which platform which winner was not more digestible to you, or to soundly put it, why do you think that who did not deserve it more in comparing to both of them?
Who did not deserve the win?
Yes, who did not deserve the win? Divya on OTT and Tejasswi on 15. Because obviously both had their own journeys and for reasons they won.
My OTT journey was a very short one. It was 6 weeks.
Right.
And this one was 4 months. So, you can't really compare both of them, to be honest. I mean, I had issues with both. And maybe this one was
Exactly.
longer. This one was longer. So I would maybe say Tejasswi.
Yeah. You feel Tejasswi was the more deserving winner as opposed to Divya?
No, I
On
don't
the
believe
the flip
that.
side.
I believe in comparison. See, I don't know why in the first place I got out in 4th place. But I mean that's the audience's decision, so I completely respect it.
Right.
But compared to Prateek, I think Prateek's journey, his contribution to the show, tasks,
Right.
and his honesty, he deserved to be the winner. That's what I believe.
Correct. That's correct.
Now, I mean, at the end of the day, this is my opinion. What has actually happened is what the audience wanted. So I can't really comment on that.
Right. And throughout your journey on the 15th season as well, that you constantly mentioned repeatedly while in the show that you've been targeted a lot for X or Y reasons, for different reasons, and mostly it was in pertaining to Devolina or probably Afsana and even Tejasswi. Who was the person who hurt you the most? Like which was the part? Obviously everybody has their own way of looking at things. So who was the person that hurt you the most with their?
How can I weigh my pain? I mean, pain is pain. All of them gave it to me.
Yeah.
At different moments, I think I was attacked by different people in the show, and there
Right.
were a lot of personal attacks. Hit below the belt several times. All of them were painful experiences for me.
Correct.
So I can't pick and choose one.
Right. That's right. And of course, now that we are anyways talking about it, and you rightly mentioned that, the whole auntie statement was, completely one of the constant talking points, and it was wrong on all accounts. It was all, it was age shaming and everything that you can think of. So, what was your exact take to it? Because after her win and in her interviews, Tejasswi has gone on to clarify her stance to it. So, what do you think that why is such a thing so prevalent, and what is your take on it?
Well, there is really no clarifying that she can do. It is just her thinking. That's when you talk about women empowerment and all of that she supposedly stands for. You can't make loose statements like that because you can't handle your emotions. I believe that when you're in tough situations, you actually um, discover your true strength and your true colors come out. Every time there was a task, her true colors came out.
Correct.
So, in this situation as well, I will just say that she said what she said and she meant it. So she can say whatever she wants to now.
Right.
Words once spoken cannot be taken back.
Taken back. Right. That's fair.
Absolutely.
Right. And overall, this whole thing that of course, right? Ever since OTT started and ever since now Bigg Boss has ended, your relationship or your whole bond with Rakesh has also been in question. I mean, don't want to use the word question, but there's always been a little bit of a question mark to the whole thing. While you guys have admitted to, you've also called him your boyfriend, but there's also been instances where you've sort of, said that not really, like I want to take my time and everything. So what is the stance to the whole thing? What is it exactly?
Look, so the thing is, Rakesh and I got to know each other on a, a game platform. You know,
Right, right.
the outer world is very, very different. And I barely got to spend, any time with him. I went back into the house for
Correct.
4 months. And that is a long time. In that much time, feelings can change. A lot can happen. This is why time and again I would keep asking, is he still my boyfriend? Has he got someone else out there? Um, and I mean, there were so many emotions I was dealing with inside. Yes, the one thing I definitely knew was that I wanted to get out of the house and really get to know him better. I wanted to know how he was in the outer world, which is what I'm going to get to now.
Correct.
Yes, we are together, and we like each other a lot. Um, so I'm hoping for a positive future.
Of course.
He definitely has a lot that I love in
Right.
him.
Right.
He is a solid guy, and that is what attracted me to him. So I want to get to know him better. Let's see where it takes us.
Of course, fantastic. Right, and of course, the trio of OTT who made it to the finals and continued. You, Nishant, and Prateek. Of course, you guys also had your own set of ups and downs, just like anybody would have in the house. But there were a couple of instances where it seemed that okay, this is probably a little bit of a more than a crack between you guys and your friendship. Where Nishant used to call you fake, or Prateek would probably have something else. Even you, for that matter, you would also probably say something which might be over the line for them. So, do you think that sustains? Like, even though, of course, the finale was more than obvious that you guys are still very much together as friends, but you think that sustains, considering you guys have been together for such a long time in both the versions?
See, you have to understand, three of us entered the house together. I didn't have a great friendship with Nishant in OTT. Pratik
Yes.
and I were not really close in OTT. We kind of we got close to each other because we had to come together to survive in that house because
Yeah.
we were against everyone else.
Everyone else.
It was literally Mukhya Ghar against Jangalwasi.
That's right.
So that and three of us are distinctly different personalities. We have very, very different thinking, and we are not scared to express ourselves. So we kind of balanced things out in that sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
So I think we made a very good team together, and our friendship, yes, like you said, had cracks from time to time, but every time either one of us would be attacked, we would come together and fight, and that
Yeah.
is just something that organically happened in
Right.
the house. I don't know how, but it's beautiful. It just happened.
Correct.
Now, as far as the outer world is concerned, I think one has to really, we have to really see where things take us, because we're obviously going to be busy doing our own thing in our lives.
Of
Now
course.
it's not Big Boss's game. So let's see. We're all busy in our own lives. So this is definitely a friendship that I will cherish. But let's see how much effort we put into sort of keeping in touch.
That's right. Great. And considering, you actually, I think, probably are the only person in the show's history to have had such a long journey with the show. In terms of the time you've spent inside the house in multiple versions and multiple seasons. So, what are your to sum it up in that sense? What do you think is your biggest achievement in that, and what do you think is your biggest regret? Because I'm sure you would probably have, considering you've met such different sets of people.
Um, you know what? I absolutely have no regrets.
No.
I'm so grateful for every experience that I had, because it's made me a stronger person.
Right.
And as far as I think the reason I went into Bigg Boss 15 was because when I got out of OTT, I was so shocked with the response that I got and the love that I got, that I said, oh my God, you know what? People like me. Maybe I should go back in.
Right.
And when I got out of Bigg Boss 15, the response that I got, whether it is from the press or the people, it is just so overwhelming. It's beautiful. The love
Right.
that is coming my way, how people have appreciated my journey. It's just such a beautiful feeling. And for me, that is my victory.
Correct. Fantastic. Just a couple of questions to round up. One being that, who do you think, why do you, not who do you, but more so, why do you think, the whole thing between you, Tejasswi, and Karan happened? Because, where she got really insecure about, and she obviously made those false claims that, the whole hitting on thing and all that stuff happened. Why do you think that was the case? Because, I'm sure Tejasswi probably has her own stance to it, but why do you think it happened? Was there something that led to it, or just something happened?
I think the entire thing is a figment of her imagination, and it's her insecurities that led to wherever it eventually got to.
Right. And so just to one more thing to round up. Who are the people that as you mentioned, of course, you just mentioned that Pratik and Nishant would probably be a friendship you would want to cherish, and you would, let's see how it works out. But who else, from the house and from your journey, would you still like to keep in touch? Of course, try to make an attempt to keep in touch.
There were several people I liked in there. I liked Maisha. I thought she was a really sweet kid. I liked Akasa. I liked Umar. I thought he was really sweet, and we had our differences in the beginning, but then towards the end we really got along. So yeah, maybe these people. Rakhi, Rashmi. Yeah.
Great, fantastic. So yeah, the final question to round things up. In the past few seasons that we've seen how so many Bigg Boss legends, as now people call it, because of course, like Gohar came in, Rubina has come in, and everybody else, especially people like Gohar and Hina, or the late Sada Shukla, that people like them who've come back as mentors or contestants just for a limited amount of time. Considering you have done quite a lot of Bigg Boss already, would you still be open to that offer if it pops up in the upcoming seasons?
Let's see. Only time will tell.
Nothing you have in your mind about it already.
No, absolutely not. Let's
Fantastic. All right, I think that will be all. Thank you so much. It was such a pleasure talking to you, Shamita.
same here. Thank you, Kunal.
Thank you.
Hey guys, check out our revamped website at www.indiaforums.com to get your daily dose of entertainment.